this discussion yesterday with Lindsay, right? So I guess Home Depot is not, but HD Supply is, which kind of tends to have more office supplies sort of stuff. But that's not to say someone couldn't take a P card down and buy something at the Home Depot or the Lowe's or something.
Oh, that reminds me. Yeah, I got to email Lindsay back. GNES has a P card. You have P cards, right? Those things are not. Econ never got one because they're completely not worth the bullshit involved. Basically, like there's so much work. Like I never saw where the cost benefit lined up on that.
It's just freedom, I think. Freedom to buy things from places that are not within the normal approved vendor stuff. So I do have a P card. Yeah, I do have a P card.
Okay.
I hope I do. It should be over here somewhere. Yep. We got a P card.
Cool. Yeah. Is it a physical card or is it just electronic?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Econ just never did it because it was like you do these trainings and you do these things and it's like, well, what's you save 2 seconds here for 2 hours?
Yeah, I don't remember any training, but I'll believe you on that. I definitely have to turn in receipts and things like that. But maybe I know that Lindsay had gotten that person to source theirs from Lowe's.
Yeah.
Aneth, I don't know where you sourced yours from is Home Depot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe if we could kind of consolidate which store I have to run to and spend hundreds of dollars. Also, I'd have to look at what my limit is. Maybe I have to ask them to increase it because obviously I can't spend $40K on a P card. They would freak out.
But I mean, there's no. I mean, I could just get a. I don't know if they don't do DPVs or anymore, but like, I yourself get reimbursed.
Well, so I can't hear you. There's something going on in the background. It sounds like a.
Is that you?
I think it's an.
But in terms of like getting a voucher or a reimbursement, I'm sure like, if we could, doing a personal card and then getting reimbursed isn't out of the question, right?
I mean, how have you done it in years past? Obviously, the things you buy don't all come from Ranger. So, do you know how we've done this before?
Well, Econ, I don't know what green fee, but yeah, I'd have to talk about the green fee purchasing because that's before my time. I don't know.
Okay.
There's a lot of like, here's my Amazon receipt. Or back then there were fewer vendors, right? So everything was just done as a direct payment voucher.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, I have a P card, and I can pay directly probably I can get the green fee account attached to my P card so that it could be something that I can pay my P card from.
Okay. So yeah, that's secondary to the whole. The other concern. So my other concern, besides the technical side, my concern that I've said is like it can't be paperless, right? This bathroom would have to be open to all. Right? I don't want to walk into a bidet room with no paper and find out 10 minutes too late that I need paper.
Right.
So
right.
Then it's about education. And I thought we were talking about this, and he made a good point, but it's like an educational experience, right? For people like. Or maybe you get people to learn what one is, and then I was saying like, is there like a dedicated market of bidet users who would come across campus to the bidet room? I don't know. So those are my things. But I basically I'm again, not to think it could truly be paperless. But then I guess my question for you, Josh, is what room are we talking about, and what does facilities think about this whole thing?
Well, I mean, we had a preliminary discussion, I feel like, about where we could possibly stick this, right? It's going to be single user. I think we said BBH single user. Does that sound familiar? I don't remember.
Pedroso Center. Yeah. It's the one by Pedroso Center.
By the Pedroso Center.
Yeah, in building B.
Isn't that high traffic? I believe that's taking a high traffic one out of commission because that's like, Is that the best price for it?
I think signage is the one thing which is necessary, just to tell people this is a paperless, using water. We're trying to get away from using as much paper.
Right. I just wonder if we need to talk to the deans of certain areas in order before we take over their bathroom.
Yes.
We probably should. Also, we don't have any money for signage, do we?
We can add it in. Isn't there money left over? I mean,
I don't know.
No, we're actually at I think there's like $8 left after the $1,800 we put forward. We got approved. I mean, basic signage would be like colored paper, laminated.
We do it for $8.
That could suffice for now.
Right, for now, until it becomes bad, and then I just replace it with something that's actually going to stay there for a while. Like, I don't know. If I'm going to spend the $300 later, I would rather just make Greenpeace pay for it now, to tell you the truth.
If we have, I got to look at the budget, but I think we do it out of all the budget. If we go forward with this, then using more money rather than less is probably the way to do it.
It's at least just one nice sign for the bathroom. The rest of it can be flyers or advertisement-based things that can come and go. Once we establish that's the, I don't know if we need to go to marketing or if we need to really think about how we're going to market a bidet to people.
Yeah, I mean, I stay out of the bidet debates, but basically it's like, are we, I don't know, and I am an economist, but I don't know the economics of it. Where's the break even on the water use versus the paper use? Like, how many bidet flushes do you need to be worth paper? Or the marginal cost, like X gallons of water versus 20 square feet, So even if the fixed costs are covered, what's the variable cost? Is it truly cost effective? I don't know. And so then in that case, as an economist, I would say, this isn't for the cost savings, it's for the education, it's for the cultural significance, getting people involved, all the other intangibles, right? So is it worth the intangibles? Probably more so than the true cost of paper versus water.
I mean, you're definitely going to cut down less trees. And I know that there's a lot of love for trees in the BBH building. But again, I don't know. As far as where we're going to put this, we can work that out. We also have to run. It has electric, right? We're going to need a plug run there. Is that right?
Yes.
So I'm going to have to get electricians involved to run electricity to near the toilet, which hopefully that won't cost me too much money.
The electricity is the biggest part of the installation. The plumbing is really just one little freshwater pipe.
Yeah, that just attaches to the supply line. Yeah, that's the easy part.
And the bidet itself just fastens where the current seat is.
And it's the commercial one, right? That we had talked about that has the broken front, right?
Yes.
We are converting one of the, I think it's the second or third floor of the library, one of those multi-stall bathrooms into 2 single-stall bathrooms for all the genders to use freely. That could be another place that we could consider, because we're going to have to modify that a little bit to remove urinals or that kind of stuff. Maybe we should consider there. I need to look at the walls of these bathrooms too, because obviously it's easier to run it in a drywall wall than it is the concrete bricko block wall. Well, maybe it's easier. Kind of depends on where the source is. So okay, so we've just got money basically to buy the bidet, right? That's what the $1,800 is. Everything else, installation, all that other stuff, either falls on me or
that part was included. Like $100 or $150 for like electricity and the supply line for the water.
And it's based on costs, right? Like actual costs.
Yeah, the bidet itself was $1,600 or so, and then that left about $150 to $200 for the electricity components.
Okay. All right. Well, we can. Yeah. I mean, I pay electricians every day. I mean, obviously there's supplies involved, and we'll have to see what we have to do But it's good to keep in mind that we can reimburse ourselves, I guess, or try to in some way. Well, let's work out where we're going to do it, and you should probably figure out a way to go ahead and buy it, so we can get the major purchase out of the way. If you need to use a P card, we could try to go down that path. I don't know what my limit is, but I can probably check into that and see what I can do. I'll go talk to Al, my business manager, and see how we might be able to use that way. But let's think of some spaces. Maybe you want to get a walk together next week where we can all come up with where we think we might best do this, and I can get my chief engineer and we can walk through it and we can say, hey, how hard would it be to run electricity near this toilet? Or what about this one? And then we can say, well, what about the dean of this college? Is he going to appreciate this, or is it going to be more likely the dean of this college who's going to appreciate this? Because I know probably certain deans would be like, I don't care to get involved with that or something. You never know how anyone's going to react, and I guess I don't want to force it on them or make it some place where I'm drawing people to in order to use a bidet, right? Like if Pedroso Center, maybe that's Dr. Scott's favorite place to go poo.
Too public, man. Too public. Basement of the library.
Yeah, something like that. So let's talk about that. So maybe next week, let me look at my schedule, and I'll talk with, like I said, with Al, and we'll figure out because I think, like I said, I think Amanda was having the same problems, and so, yeah.
Sure.
Not Amanda, Lindsay.
Lindsay, yeah. So,
Amanda.
Lindsay's good with the ordering for the guard stuff, man. It's
yeah.
So all the ordering seems to be an issue. Now, do you recommend, because as a purchaser, is Home Depot not worth the trouble? Is there, maybe should I not look through a different supplier that's easier in the ESM?
I mean, he can get it through Grainger, and we can order it straight through ESM.
Yeah.
It's going to be more expensive, maybe, but maybe not.
Well, we can do some comparisons, because I do think, that because I don't know if I was telling you this before you came, but like I had my illustrious admin, Sandy, she showed me the ins and outs of ESM, and then she's like, "Oh, Home Depot's trouble," So,
yeah. Well, what you find is big box stores like that don't want to set up a system where we can communicate back and forth through POs, right? Like, I'm going to give you money, just go ahead and give me the stuff, right? They don't want to play that game. They're like, just give me the money, I'll give you your stuff, right? So that's what I've always run into, unless you want to go negotiate on a corporate level with them, right? In which case, good luck to you, I guess. But that's not what we have so far. So all that we have really on that level is Grainger as far as materials. But that's not to say I can't order from other places. Like a mom and a pop shop will be fine with a PO, right?
Yeah.
We get a W-9, we set them up, we say, all right, mom and pop shop, when we get a PO cut, what email address should we send it to? And they'll give us contact, right? And then they know that the order came in, they fill the order, then they bill us, and we send them the money, right? But not everybody wants to work in arrears like that. So
yeah. So you think the mom and pops couldn't afford the arrears, but here we are, right?
They can't afford to not have the business, I think. They would.
I suppose that they'll just sit on it. So I mean that's the thing that I would maybe say is like look at the order through an approved purchase date. Also.
Yeah. And even if Grainger doesn't have it, I can probably call the Grainger rep and say, hey, this is what I want. How much would you charge me for that? And he'll go out and find it. It may not be the best price, and I can say, hey, well, I can get it here for this, and I can get it there for that. Can you beat that? And he'll probably be like, no, but I can knock off this amount of money to make it closer, if it even is more expensive. But that's my experience with them in the past. I ask them for a price, they go source it. Sometimes they can't, but most of the time they can. And then they'll give me a price, and then I'll say, well, compared to these three, it's this. What do you think? And they'll be like, okay. And then they'll, so you have to do a little negotiating. But maybe the price is better. There's certain things that Grainger's better on for whatever reason. Okay. I don't know.
Well, that's just one thing I found. Again, like I'm not, usually I was outsourcing my purchasing to my admin, and now I'm just doing it myself just to see. But it seemed like I ran across that problem. I think it's kind of a big problem. So that's like the last step is the ordering. One thing I will look at the budget too to see like if what is left for signage. But the big thing I think is the location, because again, I view it like there's two goals, right? One is being close enough to use, right? But also like it's being somewhere. So I don't want some. Is BBH viewed as like a backwater? Because when people come for meetings, they come in coats. Like BBH is not.
Yeah.
You know. So that's one thing, and then the other thing is like, yeah, like you said, Josh, like getting support. Like I don't know. Do deans control buildings? Does CAS control BBH?
I mean, they don't, but that's not to say they won't go to the provost and be like, they did this to me. Go talk to Josh, and then I'll have Shane Kofer over here saying, like, why did you do this? Dean such and such tells me he doesn't like it. You need to take it out. And then I'll be like, well, it's my toilet. And he'll be like, no, it's not. Actually, why don't you take it out? So, the pressure will come, even if they don't. People are going to try to get their way, especially a dean, one way or the other, right? Like that's
true.
That's par for the course. So.
Does having a renovation going on in the library make it any easier to just put the bidet in as part of it?
I mean, that we'll call it a modification, right? Because we're just basically removing toilets to make it legal. Removing urinals. I mean, I'm going to have to get my workers in there one way or the other, and it's going to be disturbed one way or the other, right? Okay. So maybe it's easier that way, and maybe in that way we can kind of roll the changes into one big message of, hey, we've opened up 2 more, multi-gender bathrooms here in the library for everyone to use. One of them has a bidet if you're interested in saving trees. Come here to do your business. The 3rd floor of the library.
The 3rd floor of the library is a high traffic area, but politically, I think it's less like a sensitive issue. It's like, hey, look, we just did a bunch of things at once, and they're all inclusive, and here's one more inclusivity.
Right. And I feel like the library is a little more float public. Like it's not, they're not quite so mine. Yeah. They don't do that so much.
Yeah, and Harris would probably be cool with it. But I'm saying it's like if the thing about the 2nd floor BBH bathrooms, like they were sort of unconverted from all gender, like unofficially, and then it looks like somebody did it themselves. Like
somebody tore down my signs. Yeah, somebody tore down my signs.
Yeah, and then they put up, I just didn't know if it was like a frustrated 2nd floor person who I possibly could name, or if it was like a legal thing, or facilities did it. It just seems like an independent operation.
Well, no, what happened was, I guess a few years back, there was a push for that, and they had changed the signage or put some sort of temporary signage up to try to make them into a multi-gender, multi-stall type of situation. But then 2 years ago, the state legislature passed a law, and that law defined how you had to do that if you wanted to do that. And then it became, since we hadn't finished that conversion, we didn't get grandfathered in to allow anyone to go in there and do their business. So now it's like, well, if we're going to do this, we have to, you have to have like floor to ceiling separations in the partitions, right? You can't have any urinals. You have to have toilets only, right?
Okay.
That kind of stuff. But the thing is, if I buy new partitions that go floor to ceiling, well, then I got to put a light in every stall, and I got to put ventilation in every stall, and I got to, you know what I mean? So it becomes like, oh, so that's becomes more, right? And so then it's like, okay, well, this isn't just so easy as taking off the urinals and slapping a different sign on it. Now we have to modify it, right? So I'm trying to look into doing it for the new education building and one of those sets of bathrooms there. It was very common in Europe, where I just came from last week. Yeah. Steppenwolf Theater evidently has them in their lobby. It's not that bad. I think it's kind of fine, but it is just not going to be an easy conversion. And so we're trying to, in order to try to find middle ground with the sponsor of this particular initiative, we're having to find bathrooms that we can either kind of make into more of a single occupancy, multi-gender situation, or future areas where we think, well, we could probably modify this one fairly easily and maybe not have to have any, $50,000 renovation on this bathroom, right? So
the renovation costs.
Right.
You can't just put a sign up and people So okay, because I was just wondering if there's more trend toward the single gender, then it's like that's perfect. Makes the day a little bit more palatable for people. So part of it is like the political pushback, right? You don't want people to lose space or lose turf, right? If it's in my building and you just took it away, right? So, in addition to the actual monetary costs of the work, you're saying like light installation, which I don't think people think about when they think.
No. And if you didn't have ventilation, can you imagine what those closets would smell like
Jesus
after a while?
Christ.
You're gonna have to do something. But if I got floor to ceiling doors, floor to ceiling walls, then you're pooping in a closet, right? And you need a vent in there. That's what's gonna have to happen.
Do not recommend. Okay, so where are we on this, right? So we need to identify either an existing or an in-progress single-gender one. And again, is the library too low traffic, or will people? That's a real question. Like, will people go to the bidet room?
Mm-hmm. Well, I can give you where the other ones are considering. They're considering when you walk into Fine Arts from the quad there, the Commons. On the right near the vending machines, there's kind of two small little bathrooms. Those are also on the list to be converted to single stall multi-gender.
That's a better spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the timeline on that?
It's still being kind of mulled by the president's office right now, right? Like some of these things take more money than others, and so they're kind of okay, well, this is kind of phase one, so we could kind of roll out this one. We could kind of roll out that one. But you could, well, I guess you don't want to put it in a single sex one because then you'd be choosing men or women as far as who gets a bidet, right? And then as far as general single stall toilets that are already built, there's one in the basement of the C building, I believe. There's one in the basement of the E building. There's one BBH. There's one, I don't know. There's only maybe 4 or 5 on the whole campus. But we could consider those. Obviously, those are the most immediate ones. They're already done. We don't have to worry about the politics or the money that may have to go involved to convert things for you. And it would already be there,
Is it basement? Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. And these things, too, I think a lot of people don't necessarily aren't aware of where they are. So it might be something that my department needs to put a little thought towards as far as pointing them back out to people. Like, hey, if you're looking for a little more privacy, this may be the spot for you, But that's a separate topic.
Yeah, well, let's look at those that are existing, too. And it's something more central. If we're talking C or E, as long as people don't think, you put us in the basement. But, it's basement, right? So let's think about those maybe more central as opposed to the 3rd floor of the library or something.
Okay.
But if you want to tour, we could walk through stuff.
I'll give you what I got. Yeah. Just set the date and I'll get set up. So
cool.
We can go on a little walking tour for those.
Very fun. All right. So, and then I guess just to recap on the cost part, are you saying that there is actually money to cover the facilities costs in the green fee?
Yeah, the seat itself is $1,632, and then subtract that from $1,800 for electricity and the plumbing pipe.
Cool. Okay, so the leftover, and I don't know, does facilities have a sort of hourly rate chart for this stuff, or?
I'm sure I do. I know I have it for all of my cleaning crew. I'm sure I do somewhere. But I'm not going to charge back like that. Because I'm sure the electrician's $200 an hour, so we're burning through it real fast, right? So, but it just as long as we're getting our material type of stuff back, right? Like if we have to go buy conduit, if we got to go buy some line, if we got that kind of stuff, then we can charge you back for that.
Yeah. Let's do that, and then we can also look and see what's in the budget for overruns, and especially if we're looking at changes when we order, So
yeah, maybe we could put the rest towards a sign. If there's an extra $100, then I can get Fast Signs to print us up something, and we can stick it on the door.
Cool. All right. So let's think next. Then we'll talk next about the location.
Okay.
And then go from there. And the ordering part, I would like, and if I don't know, you probably don't know you said Granger is the best place to look. And could you
Yeah,
get
Granger. Yeah, if you just want to pull like the model number and
Yeah.
go on Granger and just search for the
Okay.
model number, and it might come
Yeah,
up.
because the
Okay.
system works better with Granger than Home Depot. It's kind
Yeah,
of,
you can go straight onto ESM. It's a catalog, so you can just go
yeah,
directly.
I can even do that myself.
Yeah,
you know.
Scott's got that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I'm supposed to be able to do it, but the trainings are insane.
So if one of these all gender restrooms are being reconstructed from scratch, we're basically just slapping one of these bidets on one of the seats, right?
Yeah, they're not really being reconstructed from scratch. I don't want to
okay.
misrepresent. I just have to basically take urinals off the wall and put boards where the urinals used to be and cap the plumbing.
Okay.
And then change the signage on the door. That's really about all we're gonna. And then so it'll be single. We'll have to put a lock on the door so you can lock the door. Yeah, single occupancy kind of thing. So we're just gonna remove the things that would not make it legal. Like in Illinois, I can't have a single use bathroom with a urinal. It's not allowed.
So that's going to be a pretty big single occupancy room.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. Yeah. You know, we're just trying to find space. It's been a long negotiation on that one. So, yeah.
But I think that the problem that's going to come up is that do you want things done sooner or later? And this is going to be, if you want it sooner, existing is going to be the way to go. Right?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
So, all right. Well, we'll step one is let's find tour, settle on a room. Step two is then just ordering.
Okay, I'll go talk to Al about how we can do the ordering if we can't do Granger or even for Lindsay's problem. So yeah,
I'll talk to Lindsay. She's asking me about the garden stuff because that's green fee, which is GES, which is one of my programs. So all right. So let's get in touch about walking through next week.
So maybe next week on either Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Yeah, I'm around for the open house, and I'm around all those days. So
let's see. I've got Tuesday. I'm pretty clear in the morning, and then afternoon, and then Wednesday pretty clear. Yeah, I mean I've got meetings on all of those, but they're not bad. So maybe when you put it into Office, you can look and see my schedule and kind of find a gap in there and feel free.
Cool. Yeah, I'm around. I teach at 1:40 on Tuesday, 1:40 to 3. Other than that, I'm good.
Tuesday morning is good then for me. So
yeah, Tuesday morning will work.
All right. Yeah.
Send us an invite.
Okay. Yeah. Anytime before 9:30, I'm good.
And what location? Where are your offices? Or
I'm at H, but how about we just meet in front of Cafe Descartes or something like that?
Okay. Yeah, it's easy.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Sweet. Yeah. Send us an invite. All right. Cool. See you guys.
Thank you.
I'm gonna run. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Mm-hmm.
curious. The fuck? I never want to see this shit ever again. I never want to see that shit ever again. God. Okay. Oh, download that. Okay. From. Delete. Okay. Nurse. As a nurse. Isn't yeah. I don't, he made it a comma. She makes it a P. It's like, okay, this is just undoing it all. Okay. It's kind of funny. Section editor, replace the comma, replace the period, made a comma, and then copy editor, replace the same comma and put it back, and just revert it exactly the way it was. It's funny as hell. I find that so funny. It's like I just accept it both times. It's like, yeah, whatever. Oh, did I? Oh fuck! CSL. What does CSL stand for? Oh. Does CSL? I don't know what CSL stands for. Oh, console. Console of stats on my teams. Oh. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh shit. Hold on. Oh wow. Oh yeah. Um. Number. Oh. Okay. Oh yeah. healthcare is supposed to put initials like that. Whether it's real initials or not, yeah, it doesn't matter. We'll never know. Anonymous. Finally, I put an article with an anonymous character in it. Okay, semicolon, comma. That is more comfortable because it actually reaches the back. This does not reach the back of my hand. So this is for tiny hand people. Much smaller than my other gaming mouse. But it works. I'm still gonna keep it though. Come up with period. Yeah, that seems worse. Yeah, that's a code. Comma, period. 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 Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. No need. No need. The last three, I have no idea what kind of progress they're doing. I mean, Brian is working on it. I mean, with whatever free time he has, he's working on it. So it's coming. I have not heard anything from him yet. And so it's like, those are probably never going to happen. I mean, technically, I can just interview someone and get this done on my own anyway. So, yeah. You know, that's fine. Apparently, I'm collaborating too, so. Yeah. Because I already have that. Well, I mean, if I become a co-writer, I don't have to edit it. I can just send someone else to edit. It's kind of a little thing I do. Like, yeah, it's just not as much fun as writing. All right. See, implying that, oh, there are other articles that are ready for final edit. Yeah. No, I don't. No one remembers. This is gonna start accumulating like fucking crazy.